don't have a process. Just kidding. I don't wait a disclosed amount of time. If they're on, here's how I feel, y'all. If they're on my friends list and they haven't unfriended me, that allows me permission to reach out. I'm so intentional about adding value to my audience that I feel like that earns my right to be in their inbox. If you can't say that, add more value. They have the option to unfollow me and unfriend me. They know what I'm about. So to me, their door's open, like wide open. Okay, think about it. If the bear was walking around out there and we had our door open and he knew everything we had in here to offer, I wouldn't be shocked if he walked up in here. They ought not be shocked if I end up in their inbox. So I do lead a lot with the opportunity, and it looks a lot like this. Hey, Sarah Marie, girl, listen, you are killing your brand. I really appreciate this and this about you. You know what I want you to know? There are some people who are super duper successful in my team that have those exact same qualities. Girl, have you ever considered doing something like what I do? Curious if you're just even a little bit open. And I expect her to say no, and I'm okay with it. And I keep going. Repeat, 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 repeat. All the time. But if you can't confidently slide into someone's DMs, since when did that become a bad thing? If you can't slide into their DMs, then it means you're not adding enough value. They don't know what you're about. Listen, if somebody comes to Chick-fil-A looking for barbecue, then Chick-fil-A hasn't done a good job letting people know what they're about. They can leave my store whenever they want. And as long as they're there, then it's my responsibility to connect.
That's good. Yes, so good.
And I can say something really quick. If someone is worried about that, goes back to mindset, right? We talk about all the time. It says way more about the person. If you're worried about someone being mad about you getting in their inbox, right? It comes back to that person. If you are reaching out and simply saying something, I mean, unless you're being rude somehow, which we're not being, then it is about them. If they are rude to you, or if you're worried about what they think and they are not happy that you reached out to them. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you're offering. It has everything to do with the person that you are reaching out to. So mindset on your expectations and what to come, all that.
And y'all listen, I get shade thrown my way. Some really aggressive shade. I had somebody make a live video about me when I won the shopping spree, and he grew up with us. He lived in my house for years. He was my dead brother's best friend, and y'all, he went live on Facebook making fun of women in their little stupid scams, winning their stupid shopping sprees and going on their stupid cruises. And then he was like, how do you know it was about you? I just won a shopping spree for a cruise. I just inferred. But I mean, I get it. Listen, and it still happens. We woke up, 2 months ago, and one of my senior Ruby's husbands, who happens to be a doctor, what is he? I don't know what it is. Anyways, he had seen my Facebook, and he called her, and he's like, hey, call Christina, something's wrong. Somebody had shared my post in a Facebook group called Karens who are all about MLMs or something. I guess I'm a Karen.
I got affected by that.
Did you? So then I had about 500 comments on posts going back almost a year, including one where I was talking about disciplining my kids and they were going to report me for spanking. But I mean, they had 500 or 600 people from their group come to my page and just,
And guess what happened next? Then she hit Diamond Senior Ruby.
And I said, we gotta act right. But no, when that guy made fun of me, Brittany, she gave me some perspective. She's like, okay, well, here's some things. Let's go burn his house down. And then after we did all that, because listen, they don't know where we're from. But after we did all that, she said, Christina, whose opinion matters to you more? Like, is he paying your bills? And here's what she said that really got me. She said, do you want his life? And I'm like, well, he's fat and balding and unemployed. I don't want that. He is a loser. But even if he wasn't, she said, do you want his life? Would you swap lives with him? And I'm like, what does that mean? No. She's like, then if you wouldn't swap lives with them, why do you care? Then she said, Christina, go let them be right. You go get rich. And one day you can wave at him from your Lexus. Y'all, I'm not kidding. When he saw my diamond announcement, he went to Instagram and found me because he's blocked on Facebook and said, Christina, oh my gosh, your diamond. Like what, like he was actually very happy and proud and all those things. And homeboy was like, I'm still over here trying to get rich, working my 9 to 5. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So if that's what's holding you back from sharing the opportunity, do you want their life? No, you don't.
And also for the record, I've done about 11 three-way calls with Christina, and when this objection comes up, when people say, I don't want to be pushy, I always ask them, well, tell me more about that. Did you ever feel like Christina was being pushy with you? And guys, nobody has ever said yes. Not a single person. I don't think anybody feels pushed by Christina. They're probably scared to say yes.
They're probably scared. They're like, isn't that Brittany good? No, man, no one pushed me nowhere. No, man.
Oh, I'll sign up. How much the level pack is?
Here's my card number.
All right. Oh, this is a great question. Any tips or suggestions for someone that is not a natural reader? Pick me! I know the answer to this one. So I don't know if this question is about like trying to get somebody on your team to read who has not read before, or if you're asking this because you are not a reader, like you don't naturally love to read. I would just say get addicted to the results of it. Like do it one time and see if it does not change things for you. I mean, you just have to find the value in it. If it's your team member, you help them find the value in it. All right, that was easy enough.
Also treat it like it's a business tool.
Yeah, that's a great.
Like if you want to go be a doctor, you have to go to school whether you like it or not. Period. You know, you have to do things that are not your favorite. You're going to have subjects in school as a child. You're going to like some more than others. So reading a book, like if you don't like it, the easy of it is get over it and treat it like a business tool, right? Like this is what I have to do to grow my business.
I mean, I don't like IPA and I still have to do it.
And I just want to add really quick that I was not a reader, but that was the problem, was I was telling myself that I was not a reader. And all I simply did to change it, y'all, I started reading. And so on my team, when I hear people say it, I'm like, just read. Just open the dang book and read. And then I just started loving it, and I enjoyed it. And even when I didn't want to do it, I still took those 10 minutes to start, and I did it. I have barely read any books until Plexus. Like I did through school and through college, and I have my degrees, but I was like, I'm done. Like I was not a natural leader or natural reader or any of that. But I told myself I was. It was all mindset.
Okay, while I like money, because who doesn't, a fear that I've had is not staying humble when success comes financially. Not just for me, but for my family. How do you keep yourself humble and your family? Okay, so I think you need to analyze your thoughts about money. Like, what are you thinking about money?
Or just pull your inner Christina out of you.
While Christina's making it rain. No, I think that is a mindset issue about money. Are you believing about money what God believes about money? I mean, you need to ask yourself that. What does God say about money? I mean, money is a tool. So money can do a lot of good. Not that money's everything, but I mean, guys, it's right up there with oxygen. It's important. It's real important, especially if you don't have any. And when you do have it, I think that this fear of success, like if you're worried, if the root behind this is you're worried it's going to change you, I can tell you that it won't. What it will do is pull out what's already there. Like who you are right now, that will be who you are when you have lots of money, but it will just be more visible.
Dave Ramsey says that.
Oh,
That's Dave Ramsey. That is a quote from Dave Ramsey. He says
He's
that.
learned that from me. No, but that is true.
Yeah,
I've witnessed this.
yes. If you've been with Dave Ramsey, he stood on stage and said that exact thing.
Dave Ramsey says that exact same thing, and I totally agree. It's your mindset on money, and I agree with, I struggle with that too. It's like, what do people what are they gonna see, or, if I post about stuff. But you guys, like, God needs people that have good people to have money, to do good things. Brooke Hemingway said that. Like, it's true. If your heart is to serve, what are you gonna do when like, are you gonna bless your family, or are you gonna get out of debt? Like, are you gonna help support an orphanage? That's what we do. Are you gonna be able to give back to your church? Are you gonna be able to provide for families that don't have it? Are you gonna be able to give more at Christmas to an organization? I mean, what are you gonna be able to do? What kinds of dreams are you gonna have? I mean, then you need to start looking at your why. And you need to see what's your why. We were in debt, deep debt, that a Christian school teacher and a mechanic were not gonna be able to dig us out of. We're not gonna do it. And our dreams were, we don't have big dreams. I mean, we don't really need a big boat, and I kind of want to buy a camper again, maybe, and I want to remodel my house a little bit, but that's about it. But I do want to give to my Christian school. I do want to give more to organizations that I love. I want to help support an orphanage in Africa that I've fallen in love with. Like, there's some big things, and we've been able to do that. And we couldn't do that without getting out of debt. And so, like, that's what this has allowed us to do. So you gotta know your why, and you gotta know your heart. And if your heart is to love people with your money, then you're not gonna change who you are. It's not gonna change who you are.
And I want to add, because I talked about this a little bit earlier, but again, money, it funds our churches, our organizations, our dreams, our visions. It does so much, the orphanages. For us, when I had almost literally quit at Sapphire after my son was diagnosed, I thought to myself, how can I bless other cancer mamas in the hospital that are struggling? Y'all, they are in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt because of treatment. And we were blessed financially because of not only our TRICARE insurance, but because of Plexus, and we were able to pass that on. Why should we feel shame about that money when you have that opportunity? We were able to give away a truck when we got our Plexus Lexus to a family at our church. Like, if those aren't opportunities to love others, give back and serve, then you should have no shame in earning money and giving back. That's what God teaches us.
The Good Samaritan would not have been the Good Samaritan if he was broke. I mean, you gotta think about, you really, if this is your struggle, I don't know who asked this, but I really encourage you to make a list, write it down, and make it visible, of all of the good things that you would like to be able to do but can't because you don't have the money right now. And it might not be giving it all away. Maybe that's not your dream, and that's okay. I do believe in giving, and I am a generous giver. But a lot of times, it's what it allows my family to do. It's the opportunities it allows for my family.
And I agree with all of that, and the mindset thing. And one thing that was revealed to Eric and I through this whole process of Plexus and going diamond was that it's not my money. It's not mine. Like, the sooner we got that in our heads, like, this is God's money. It is God's. He has given it to us for a reason. And it says that, in the Bible, every good and perfect gift is from above. Everything is from Him. So the quicker we got that mindset, the quicker He just poured down the blessings. I could sit here and share my story, you guys. It's just incredible. We wanted Christian education for our kids, and for so many years we struggled financially and we couldn't pay for it. Well, my church has a fund, it's called Christian Education Fund, and people from the church fund it, so parents who want to send their kids to Christian school can do that without having to pay. And we had to fill out a pledge sheet every year, and we could never pledge a lot of money because we couldn't afford to do that. But our money was going to bills and other things first. We weren't tithing like we should have, not thinking this is God's money. We had that all wrong. And through a series of events, people mentoring us, just God, all the way down, He just started revealing to us that He needed to come first. So we tithed first. We started tithing first. We had an opportunity to support a church in Guatemala where Sue's little boy is adopted. And we started doing that. We didn't have it, but we started doing it. We started giving Guatemala our money, and that right during that whole process, my business took off. And there was money pouring in. And it was just, we had that verse given to us from Malachi, the storehouses, I can't remember, the first goes to God, right? And so that's what we started doing. We started living our lives like that, and God abundantly blessed. And so it's not our money. It's where we put it, and this mindset. It is a mindset. Like as soon as me and Eric got that through our heads, like it's not bad to have a lot of money, you guys. Yes, the Bible says the money is the root of all evil, but it's what you do with it. The love of money. Yes, exactly. So it's what you do with it and how you feel about it, right? So yeah, you just have. It is a mindset thing, and we just had to figure that out. But seeing now and so now, guess what? 3 years ago, when I hit Emerald around there, we had to go to church and we had to fill out those pledge sheets and write down, how much we could, pledge for our kids. I wrote down the full amount, you guys. I could pay every dime in Christian education for my kids. And I have ever since. And now we can pay for other kids to go to Christian school that they can't afford it, So many blessings.
I read this book one time called Thou Shalt Prosper, and it's written by a Jewish rabbi. It was very interesting to me. I've actually read a lot of books about money, but this one I learned that Jews make up a disproportionate amount of the wealth, like globally, they make up a disproportionate amount of the wealth in the world compared to like their population size. Like if you look at the top 100 wealthiest people in the world, Jews make up like a huge portion of the list, even though they're a small sect of people. And the reason why is because they get their beliefs about money from the Bible. They believe what God says about money. So it's not, you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting more. Like Michelle said yesterday, wanting the more that God has for you, for your family, for others. As you broaden your impact and you increase your income, the more you're going to broaden your impact and probably increase your income. Like it's kind of a cycle. Like you're going to add value to the marketplace and be able to do a lot of good things. So I think learning about just a biblical view of money will kind of ease some of that